Oh yeah, welcome to a sunny Stockholm, Sweden, and I just can't help myself but play outdoors once again. And if we allow ourselves a couple seconds of silence, you should hear there are some spring birds in action. Come on, spring birds. Ah, see, spring bird. Okay, so that's it for our introduction. Now let's get to the playing. Can I even freaking see myself? Oh, there we go. Awesome. So I have again with me my super heavy gauge. It's actually 062 here, so 12 to 62. And it's just through this little practice amp, so I'm not sure how heavy it's going to be for you guys, but it's more than enough for practicing. Bonjour tout le monde. Flays owner on Instagram, what's up? My man Louis from Facebook. Louis is an old timer. How you doing, man? How is progress going? So where are you guys in the world? Do you have any springtime? I mean, we still have a little bit of snow here in Stockholm, but now it's really warm in the sun, so I can't really get used to it. How is weather in Maryland? So 55 degrees Celsius, I'm assuming, Fahrenheit. I have no idea what that is, but if you say it's warm, I believe you. So here it's like it's like 6 degrees, but in the sun I think it's like 15, and that's enough for our, us sun-thirsty Scandinavians to go outside. So I'm in C standard now, pretty low tuning. "12 degrees Celsius, that's not so warm, is it?" I guess you're saying it's a good spring day, I guess, then. I was expecting like Hawaii temperatures or something. I don't know. You can tell I'm just a lost rock and roller. Know nothing about geography and climate zones. Sorry, don't know any cover songs like Iron Maiden. Okay, I get it. So you just had snow, and so you're the same as us then. This is Hawaii for us. So this is Hawaii for me. That's a good way to put it. Domingo, how you doing, man? Lendog, what's up? Hey there, Black Snow, what's up? Let's see if we can include some trickier runs here so we can warm up for some shreddier stuff. Swedish style. What is that? Sorry, man. I don't know. I guess in a sense this is going to be half Swedish because I'm half Swedish, half Greek. Sidna, thank you, man. Not warmed up enough for that yet. Sorry, no, I don't know any folk style guitar. Maybe something with Swedish. I don't know what that would be. It's interesting. Let's see. Some folk. So I imagine something swingy, like maybe something in major. Maybe slower. No, wait. No. Wait. You don't hear me. No, I can't get it right. I think I'm out of tune. This was an interesting challenge. I imagine something happy sounding and a little bit swingy. To me, that would fall into the folk region, or in the folk department. It's more maybe like Scottish or something. I've never played folk music. But of course, if you tell, and I think I'll listen a little bit to that, like, I don't know, like Therion. This is a Swedish band called riffing. Folk metal, so you meant folk metal, so maybe... Oh, sounds bad. We got Andre from Facebook. How you doing, man? So you were from Central Europe somewhere, I think. Was it Hungary? Or Romania? Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get any better than that. I'm not a folk guitarist. Oh no. Died on me. Sorry, I gotta fix some new batteries here. Just a second, my drum machine died on me. I'm gonna get some new batteries and I'll be back. Sorry about that. Hopefully we can get that sorted. Need batteries here. Andrew. Romania, yes. So lazy today trying to get out of bed, practice, but I can only picture pizza and video games this weekend. Hell. Well, that's okay. Sometimes you gotta take a break and do pizza games. I was gonna say pizza and video games. Maybe we can get you into the practice mood just by hanging around here. More blues to it. We can try that signal. Cool, great question there from YouTube. Jorg is asking, can you explain what you're doing? Their details. Greetings from Germany. Wie geht's? Ich bin von Sweden. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, at the request of Sidna from Instagram, he wants me to add a little bit more blues to my riffing. And I think that's a good challenge, because obviously pretty much any rock and metal comes from the blues, but we can always add more obvious blues ingredients. To me, that means a little bit more emphasis on that blues note, you know, the one you've all played in the pentatonic scale, that kind of thing. And also maybe a bit of like a groove thing. So instead of doing straight like that, we can maybe do the so instead of doing like we do so not but instead yeah, got my man Hit 2000. That's another old-timer. We had Louis in the beginning, and now we have Hit 2000. How you doing, man? Good to see you. We can try 578 as requested by Sidnath. It's not so bluesy. 356 is gonna feel bluesier. So that's really the blues note. If we play 578, that's gonna be more like a minor feel. So that's 578. Now let's try 356. MDFkin, what's up on Instagram? Good to see you again. So Jorg, that's just a little challenge here, but if you were asking more like in general what I'm doing, it's usually, when I do these live streams, it's usually a balance between like true practicing and a little bit of a show off. And that's because I have still issues practicing in front of you guys, because here's how it is. When you practice, you generally want to go into your weak areas, or that's what I try to do, and fix that. And that doesn't sound very impressive. And as soon as I start doing that in the live stream, you know, I start asking people having asked me, oh, play Iron Maiden, play AC/DC. So it's just a clear sign they want me to do something different. So I tend to play way too fast here, and that's not good practice. That's just show off. That's just playing the stuff I already know. So in an ideal world, I slow down a little bit and I start exploring, you know, patterns and rhythms and maybe scales and arpeggios and combination of those that I don't typically do. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. Whether I have any success, that's a different story. But we can do some more of that. Sidney, am I joining your band? Maybe I am. Send me a link and we'll see. Okay, so let's try some more. And I mean, you guys can do this as well. Oh, curious coincidence. Thanks for reminding my old tune. So, unfortunately, I don't remember much of it. What's a cool suite there? I don't remember, man. But thanks for reminding me. I should learn it sometimes. Okay. That's the Tool vibes right there. So that's a good exercise there, trying to go between single note lines that are more lead oriented and rhythm, but do that seamlessly. That's hard, especially down here, because we tend to know our lead positions pretty well up here, but not so much down here. So let's see if I can do that. Anik, what's up? Can't pronounce your username. So that's a worthy challenge. Maybe you know a couple of lead licks and you know a couple of riffs. See if you can try combining them. And if they are like situated on different parts of the fretboard, you can try transposing them. Man, I really don't see the tuning here. The tuner, trying to tune. So the practice amp I'm using has a built-in tuner, but the display is a little bit too weak to be seen in the sun here. So let's try some more. Do I like a BB King? I don't know BB King very well, sorry man. Yes, this is a nice guitar for metalcore and 80s. I'm out of tune again, man. So Andre is asking about a Velvet Revolver guitar riff, and sorry, I have no idea what that riff is. So I'd have to spend a little time breaking it down. Unfortunately, I don't play any copyrighted audio in these live streams. It's just I don't like the whole copyright thing. Just gives me a headache. B.B. King is a jazz legend for sure. I never listened a lot to his stuff, but just the way he used that, you know, or rather his influences on people like Stevie Ray Vaughan and you know, where the that see if we can get this is a really crappy guitar for that stuff, but you know, the way he would do the major, it sounds like shit here, I'm not even gonna try, but yeah, he's been an influence for sure, but not a direct influence. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry, Slavic username and Slavic letters there. I have no idea what you're saying. If you can translate, I'll do my best to understand. You know what? Maybe I'll switch guitars, because this is a pretty cool guitar for riffing, but it has like 012 to 62 strings, super heavy gauge, and I tune it in C standard. So anything but this metal thing is gonna sound really bad, like B.B. King is sounding horrible on this guitar. So if you just give me a little 40 seconds and I'll grab myself another guitar and I'll be back. Sorry for that. This one should be a little bit better. I don't even know what Monster is. Sorry, I don't do any cover songs. Oh, please don't spam. So I can't play Monster. I can't play cover songs. Wish I could, but I'm really crap at that. Which amp am I using? So I'm using this Yamaha THR 10 practice amp. This is my go-to amp when I play outside like this. It's more than decent enough for practicing like this, because you can get both decent high gain and actually it's the high gain that I like with it. I think it's surprisingly well without any pedals, or surprisingly good. Right now I'm not getting any sound, but that's because I'm not plugged in. I'm a freaking genius. I'm gonna get more sound when I plug in. That's usually the way it goes. This is better for lead stuff. The other guitar is a bit tricky. Can you suggest a budget, like practice amp for under 150? I don't know what this costs now, but this would actually be my recommendation. A lot of people swear by the Katana amps, and I think they're good as well. And I think they have one in this size, but in general, if you can get yourself a practice amp with like a bigger speaker, I would recommend it. Not because you want to get all the volume, but because a bigger speaker has more bass frequencies. You cannot really get the bass frequencies. So even if when I play at low volume, I think it's nice to get the full spectrum. So I would recommend like a bigger practice amp, but if it has to be a small one, then why not the THR 10? But there are, like when I bought this one 10 years ago, I mean, the market has just exploded with lots of good practice amps, so I'm sure there are good options out there. Cool, so Andre is giving me the, oh, low E. Okay, then it gets easier. So this is a minor meets major, so minor third to major third. So those of you wondering what Andre is pasting, this is a Velvet Revolver song, and he's wondering about the harmony there, I think. Okay. Oh no. So, something like that. So what this is, it's like a bluesy, countryish kind of rock song. Whenever you get the minor third meets major third, that's like country rock. But you know, Slash has done a lot of that even in Guns N' Roses. So they're constantly throwing in that major third, and it just makes it sound really bluesy. Then we have 6 to 7 up here. That's the flat 5, the blues note, so it's also very bluesy. But of course, when he mixes both the 3 and the 4 and the 6 and the 7, it gets more innovative because you have these two different kind of clashing tonalities. So it's very colorful, bordering, you know, chromatic and outside sounding. But that's, you know, if you can make that work, it's gonna sound fresh and original because he's not sticking to a traditional key. And this is just the minor 7, which is great because it works with both the minor third and the major third. With the major third, you get that dominant sound. So, and then the 5 here, that's just, or fret 5, that's the 4th, and nothing weird there. In both the major and minor scale, you have that. So it's really just like major meets minor plus the flat 5. So if you're wondering what you're going to solo use for soloing, you can definitely use like the E minor pentatonic scale. But you can throw in a little bit of flat 5, so you know, the 15th fret G string. And you can throw in, let's see here. And you can also do this, Slash does that quite a bit, so you play the 12th fret and add the 13th fret, and you get that kind of countryish thing, which he does in this riff. So that's gonna work great, I think, over that lick. And just anything anything chromatic is gonna work. You know, you could just play your like pentatonic licks, and then maybe mix in some chromatics in there. So you could just do like a, the sound isn't working for me. Or you could just do like he does in like Paradise City. So if you make some standard blues licks with just chromatic, so 12, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, because again, that riff you showed me, or those notes, they are bordering chromatic, you know, so you can also solo bordering chromatic. You can try it out, you know. You're gonna have to try to do it with taste, of course, so, you know, you're gonna spend some time with it and see which types of chromatics work and which don't, but that's the way I would do it. Sidnath, the A chord. There it is. Hi dude, how you doing, Charles? So Praktash, please stop spamming. I cannot play Monster. I'm gonna have to silence you for today. Timeout. There we go. Oh, what did I do? So I hope that helped, Andre. What were you trying to play over it? Maybe I can move this freaking closer. I just can't see what you guys are saying. John, I'm doing good. How are you doing, man? I've been enjoying morning out in the sun here. It feels so special when we've had a long Scandinavian winter. Yes, Ziggy, this is an American Stratocaster. It's an American Deluxe Strat. It's a 50th anniversary reissue. I have a guitar Fender FA 125C. I want one more electro guitar. Can you give me a recommendation? If you already like Fender, you should definitely get yourself a Strat. It's the most iconic guitar ever, I think. Hello from India. How are you doing? Megadeth or Metallica? Tough choice. I love both bands a lot. I think Metallica, I listened more intensely when I was young, like teenager. I listened to Megadeth back then as well, but then I listened more to Megadeth when I got a little bit older. I don't know why, but I think it was when I started listening more to the guitar work, I guess. But Megadeth has cool songs as well, and you know, as much as his voice sounds a bit nasal, there's something undeniable about the combination of his, you know, sort of progressive, trashy riffs and Marty Friedman's soloing and that nasal voice. It's unique. It's weirdly unique, I guess you could say. Court, I haven't tried anything, but I've you know, the ones I've seen are really cool. I mean, we have an instructor on the GMC website, Piotr from Poland, and he plays a Court which just, when he plays, it's always awesome. So I you know how it goes when you see someone playing a specific brand or model a lot, you just feel like trying it out, but I've never had the chance to try one. They look pretty good. Oh, okay, Court guitars are better, yeah. So many brands I'd love to have. I could just fill my entire man cave with guitars. Would be fun. So as soon as the sun goes away, Sidnath, my string buzzes. Okay, if your string buzz, it could be just an easy fix. Just adjust the truss rod, and what you could also do is maybe you know, take your guitar to the guitar shop for like a quick setup. That's usually fairly cheap, and I mean, if you buy something there, maybe they'll even give it to you for cheap, who knows. But even if you have to pay a little bit, it's okay. In a worst case scenario, you might need some fret leveling if you played it a lot, but even that is usually worth the money if the guitar is decent. But fret leveling can cost you like the equivalent of $200. I don't know how it would translate to your part of the world, but you know, in the ballpark. Mohammed, can you play something? You look so professional. I'm happy I look professional. On my nose. Oh, Mohammed, are you new to the streams? Welcome, man. Good to see you. Cheap guitars and amps. Oh. Well, I was sent the Enya Music is the brand, and the guitar is called X-Mary. That's like a $200 guitar. And it has built-in audio engine, and it plays well. So that's, you know, if you're looking for a new guitar, I think that's one of the better values guitar I've tried recently. But I just tried it because I was sent It's maybe there are other options out there, but I was really surprised about the build quality, the playability, but also the pickups, because usually in cheap guitars the pickups are kind of crappy, but not in this one. So that's one recommendation, and you get the amp for free in it, so it's pretty cool. Or not the amp, you get this audio engine, so you can plug headphones or you can plug it into your phone. Resell, this guitar is a Fender American Deluxe Stratocaster. Hi Chris, what do you recommend to improve your speed with the right hand? I've been playing for a long time and learning by myself, but I think I'm stuck. Okay, so let's see if we can even get some right hand speed. It's always a bit slower to warm up when you're outside. Let's see. Just trying to see if today is a good picking day, and I think it's not. So I'm not sure. You should ask me today, but so I'm trying to warm up my picking shop so I can show you something. Lucky neighbors they are indeed. So here's one of my favorite exercises for, well, both practicing alternate picking, like strict alternate picking, and also warming up. So what I do is I just take a simple power chord shape. So you could take like 12 frets on the A string and then 14th fret on the D string. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna play 3 times on the A string, 1, 2, 3, and then 4th pick strike here on the D string. Now, I usually do this with strict alternate picking, because it allows me to focus on the most difficult part with alternate picking, which is the actual string traverse. But if you prefer economy picking, it works for that as well. So you could do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 downstrokes in a row. But I rarely do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what you're gonna try to do here is minimize the picking movement. And picking is done a little bit with thumb joint, a whole lot with the wrist, and a little bit with the arm. So what you can do if you want to be smart about that is try picking with all 3 separately. So just using the thumb joint, I'm going to anchor my fingers. That's hard to play fast, but it's an interesting exercise. And then do the same with the wrist. So I let go of the anchoring. And then with the arm. I spend a little bit of time with each one of those, and then when you put it all together, you might just experience this, that it feels easier. Now, granted, you're not going to build speed in 15 minutes, but it's a practice strategy to break down the different picking movements. And in general, picking is much more difficult, I think, than people want to realize, because there are so many factors that come into play depending on, you know, how you hold the pick, the angle, but also the type of lick you're trying to play. Hey there, Antonio, Mr. Fender, I like it. So let's practice a little bit more picking. I need that as well because I haven't really warmed up. So Aaron, I'm playing mostly in E minor now, but since I'm tuned down a half step, it might sound like E flat minor to you, but I'm using the shape of E minor. Geomut, what's up? I'm out of tune again. Let's try tuning. So fun to tune. But that's just the price you pay for wanting to play outdoors. Guitars really don't like coming from the warm inside, going to the outside. There's going to be slight movement in the wood, which is more than enough to throw your tuning off. Sometimes you can actually get a bit of a, you know, like a neck bow or something like that. Why is the whole thing shaking? Weird. Ah, sounds horrible. The whole guitar is retuning itself. I hate that. But there's no other way to do this, because otherwise I would have to store my guitar outside, and that's not a good idea either. Ouch, sounds horrible. Let's try warming up some more. pick with fingers. So you mean like hammer-ons for nowhere, like that? Or you mean like fingerstyle picking? Thank you, Aron. Yeah, the right hand, exactly. So I do quite a bit of hybrid picking, so I use the pick in combination with my fingers. If you check it out. So by the way, Aron, the tone is coming from this little practice amp, the Yamaha THR 10. It's handy when I'm playing outdoors like this. You look at my right hand. Sorry, Elijah, I don't do any cover songs. I'm crap at that. Can you hear that? One more time. Let's see. This is the sound of a truck. I think if you live in any other part of the world, you're used to cars driving by and making noise. But here in Sweden, we hate that. And for some reason, there's a freaking truck that's allowed to do this. This is called glassbilen. They say sell ice cream. It's a very weird thing because usually in Sweden we have like fair competition, but there's only one company allowed to drive around and make this freaking noise, and that's a freaking ice cream car. So a lot of Swedish people have like affection. They remember when they were kids and they heard that sound and they ran outside and they bought ice cream. I guess I did that as well, but I've grown to freaking hate that car. It just ruins. How are you allowed to do that? There's a reason we don't allow any like sellers to drive around and make noise, but we leave freaking one out of the equation, and I just can't understand that. So if it were up to me, I would not only remove their license, but I would freaking sue them for ruining people's life in decades. You know, there's nowhere in Stockholm you can go deep into the forest and you're always going to hear that freaking car. It's just so un-Swedish, and I don't understand where it comes from. It's the weirdest thing ever. Thank you, Fried Kurt. I try to play clean. Elijah, I'm from Stockholm, Sweden here. Do we have any Swedish people here who are familiar with glassbilen? I'm sure you don't share my hate, because most Swedish people love that car, and that's why they're allowed to drive around and make that freaking noise. I just think it's super unfair competition. I think either all cars should be allowed to do that, and I'd be totally against that, because that would, you know, it would ruins people's life with all that noise, or you forbid all of them, which is what we're almost doing. Why leave freaking one car out of that? I just don't understand it. Well, I do understand it. It's because it would be political suicide, I guess, for the people here to for the politicians in Sweden and Stockholm to remove their license, because people will be like, oh, it's my childhood. but I don't think that's, I think if we fast forward 30 years, they're gonna lose their license, but people are not ready for it yet. It's also because, you know, that freaking car, they're the only ones allowed to do that. So there's no competition, and their ice cream tastes like freaking dog poo. They haven't updated their taste for like decades, and they don't need to, because they're the only car that is allowed to drive around and make freaking melodies like dee 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 dee. Like, so horrible. But we could make a metal tune out of it. I don't know if you remember it when it drove by. Can you hear it? One more time. So you hear the birds and you hear the freaking car. Oh, no, it's gone. There it is. Damn it. Shouldn't be allowed. One more. And next time we have some Swedish people in here, I'm gonna play that and they're gonna recognize it. Elijah, have a good one. See you. Dorky, so I'm outside now. I don't have my guitars, but this is one of my favorite guitars. It's the American Deluxe Strat, and I like it a lot because I scalloped it. And I've tried a lot of different pickups, but I actually went back to the stock pickups. I like it a lot. Yeah, we got my man Fred Hinkle here. What's up? And the sun is coming back here. Oh no, I lost my pick. I lost my pick in my jacket as I removed it. Oh no, the pick is gone. Damn it. Oh, there it is. I found the pick. There it is. That's the freaking the ice cream car. Brazil. How you doing, man? Yes, big chap Axel. This is scalloped. You can tell it's, or maybe you can tell. A little bit hard to see, but well spotted. Vilos, what's up? Yes, this is a Fender American Deluxe Strat. Keeler, what's up? So this guitar, like an American Deluxe Strat, I don't even know what they cost anymore. I haven't been in the, in the guitar purchasing market for a long time. I think they're pretty expensive now when you buy them new. You can find them, I don't know, maybe used for like 1,000 to 1,500 bucks. Someone fill me out there. That's just a guess. Like, how much can you buy an American Deluxe Strat for these days? I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't been in the market for many years. Good song. Thank you, Esley. Sébastien, have a good day. Merci beaucoup. But the good news is you don't need an American Deluxe Strat to play stuff like this. You can easily buy like a S-style copy, and as long as the pickups are decent, you're gonna be okay. So lots of good value guitars without getting an American Deluxe Strat. That's just what I'm trying to say. So thank you, Rufus, for digging my tone, because my rig is very simple today as I'm playing outside. I'm just plugged straight into this amp, which is a Yamaha THR practice amp. And I think, yeah, I'm using the modern preset, modern amp. That's it. Lots of gain, but it works nicely, I think, for a practice amp kind of thing. It's a great value. You can still buy them. It's a Yamaha THR 10. That's it. Simple but effective. And the good thing with this practice amp is it also has a built-in tuner. And since I'm playing outside, I'm bringing my guitar from the inside to the outside. They're just a mess, tuning-wise. The guitar is just screaming, I don't like this temperature change. Whereas I'm screaming, I love it because it's getting warm outside. But guitars don't agree. That'll do. That will do. So here's a cool thing that I think can make any guitar tone come to life, and that's what is basically note dampening. So what I'm doing is I'm picking a note and then I'm muting it right away with the side of my thumb. So like that. And the idea is that as you mute, you also pre-position the pick for the next pick strike. So I'm playing a note, I'm muting it, and then I'm ready to pick it again. So if I'm riffing like this, you're gonna hear when it happens. time to tune again. My guitar doesn't like the weather. It's only me that likes the weather. Guitars don't want to go outside. That should be like a song name. Guitars don't want to go outside. Guitars just want to be inside. Sorry for laughing at my own jokes. Has to be done. And it's cold again, so I'm gonna put the jacket on. There's no way around it. Oh. Easier said than done. Come on, jacket. Whew. Jacket on. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys alive? Those of you wondering, I'm just jamming around in E minor now, trying to add some bluesy elements because I just think that really spices up the riffing and all that. So basically just playing some classic metal riffing techniques and throwing in some blues licks. So you can come a long way. I think that's a tasty combination, but it's also something that needs practicing, so that's what I'm doing. Poetry. Sorry, I don't know any Motorhead. I'm horribly bad at playing covers. Wish I was better at it because everybody wants me to play them. But yeah, I'm incredibly bad at them. Maybe something swingier here. Motorhead. Ace of Spades. Yeah, I never really listened to Motorhead. have a Tele from Fuji again. Is it the Iliad, like Iliad standard? Because I have that as well, a little as well. So I have the Iliad standard and I love it. I've tweaked it a lot and it's just, yeah, very good build actually, super good. I was contemplating bringing this one outside, but since I used it recently, I didn't. But it's one of my most played guitars. It would be interesting to know which T-style guitar it is. Oh, so it is the Iliad. We have the same guitar then. Very cool. Maybe you've seen any of my other videos with the yellow Telecaster style. It's that guitar. I don't have the color, same color, obviously. Is asking, do you think some of us are limited by genetic when it comes to building a certain level of technique, like tremolo picking, sweeping, big section, and so on? No, I don't. I've always been very provoked by people thinking that you're born with something. You know, I don't believe that at all. I mean, sure, I mean, some people have bigger hands, but I mean, we've all seen Randy Rhoads play, right? We've all seen or heard about Django Reinhardt, and even people like Tony Iommi, you know, accidentally chopped off his fingertips. So I don't believe in that. Some people argue, okay, well, that's the technical part. Anybody can learn that. How about the musical part? And it's the same is true for the musical part, you know? It's not something you're born with, but am I saying that anybody can have the same musical intuition as somebody else or whatnot? No, but it's not down to genetics. I think it's down to, you know, what you're exposed to. You know, maybe you're exposed to lots of music as a kid. Maybe your parent chose to play their favorite records when they were in a really good mood. So you associate music with something positive and fantastic, and you really connect with it, you know, that kind of thing. All that matters, and it's impossible to measure, but I think that we can all expose ourselves to music in different ways, even as grown-ups, and that is going to help our musical intuition, and then we can practice sort of outputting that music with our instruments. So no, I don't believe in that at all. But I do believe in devotion, and just because you spend a lot of time practicing doesn't mean you progress. You know, you can very well play many hours per day, but be totally non-committed to it and be sloppy and think about something else. You're going to make zero progress. But is it down to genetics? No. So that's just me. Some people, many people would argue against that, but I think, you know, the more progressive ones will probably agree with me. But I think it's a little bit conservative to think that, you know, we're just born with something and that's the way it is, you know. You know, when human beings learn to adapt, that's when they survive. And I think it's the same with music. You can adapt. In other words, you can learn. You can expose yourself to new stuff and get better. So no, I certainly don't believe in that. Jimi Hendrix or Stevie Ray Vaughan? Have a good one, Paul. See you. I don't know if there's some SRV in that. guitar, I don't know, does it give you any SRV vibe there? I've never really learned SRV songs, but I have learned a couple, licks from him, and in a way, it's been very inspirational. Oh, Poel, my guitar technique is perfect. Thank you so much, man. Not sure I agree, but I appreciate the compliment. Happy birthday, Mr. Naruto. TT Ung on Instagram, what's up? Mr. Naruto, thank you so much. So Anik or Alex, I don't understand the words. You're gonna have to use Google Translate and paste here. That's awesome, man. So do you play guitar? MGMG. How to speed up the left hand and make the picking more efficient. Like inside picking. Oh, interesting. So to speed up the left hand, I would definitely recommend some legato exercises, and you can just Google legato exercises. Lots of good stuff there. Just you can come a long way just with those simple exercises, just doing like 15, 12. And you can do that with every finger, and it can be any exercise and any frets of your choice. It's just a muscle thing, right? I'm just like practicing hammer-ons and pull-offs, and that's the kind of thing I'll use later on when I'm playing it. But it comes from working on those like tiny little drills. Like picking efficiently. Well, for this kind of thing, when I'm doing like a blues rock kind of thing, it's more about the big movements and attack. I think that sounds better, But if you're speaking about this kind of thing, it's not very bluesy, of course, but that kind of thing, it's a huge topic, right? But efficient movements usually comes down to mastering like the thumb joint. So you're going to want to anchor your fingers here and just use the thumb joint, and do that for practice purposes. It's not like, well, I'm not saying you should use this technique when you try to play fast, but try to practice just the thumb joint. I find that that's usually what people miss. They're practicing the wrist and maybe the whole arm, but very seldomly do they practice the thumb joint like this. And that's critical when you're trying to play that kind of thing. So that's one little tip for you. Just anchor the fingers and practice playing just the thumb joint. Now, picking is a huge topic, and you know, the techniques you'll be using totally vary depending on the types of licks you're playing, and even how you prefer to hold your hand and stuff like that. So it's not simple to give you a great answer quickly without knowing what you're looking for and what your level is, stuff like that. But maybe that can help work a little bit on the thumb joint. To me, that's been a game changer, and it's also what allows for like hybrid picking. If you can have a small, efficient picking movement, it's much easier to, you know, use the fingers. If your picking hand is flying all over the place, there's just no way your fingers are going to hit the right string. The movie Scream, it's been a long time since I saw it, man. Good to know you love music. Ooh, sun is back. Man, it's warm here. Loving it. But my guitar is struggling to cope with these temperature changes. I'm gonna blame it on the temperature, maybe it's something else, but usually this guitar is very stable when playing inside. I'm not sure why it's constantly going out of tune. I think it's down to temperature. Yeah, that'll do. But I am loving the bluesy groove. We had someone on Instagram liking, you know, or suggesting I do more like a SRV Hendrix style thing, and it works really nicely, I think, over this drum groove. Good question there on Instagram by Bloody Cape. Do you have recommendations when people start guitar, like scale and technique? Yeah. So a lot of people think that, you know, when you learn your first chords, usually then you can play your first song, right? So you know a few chords and all of a sudden you have a song. So they're like, I want to play lead guitar. Let's learn a scale, because if I learn one or two scales, then I will be able to play my first solo, you know, makes sense. But it doesn't work that way at all. Scales don't help for that. What you need is to actually learn a solo note for note, or at least learn some like licks, patterns, and phrases. So in general, my recommendation is, if you're a beginner and you want to play lead guitar, that's fine, you know, I'm not against that, even though it's going to be a little bit more challenging than playing rhythm. I think what really matters is that you play the stuff you love. You know, if you don't want to play rhythm guitar and you push yourself just because you're a beginner, well, you're going to put the guitar down. So to what use is it if you know, do it in the right order just for the sake of doing it, but hate the playing and put the guitar down? So it doesn't make sense to me. So I recommend you play the stuff you love, even if it means doing something difficult. So that would be my biggest advice to you when you start out. Nothing is more important than that. Don't ask some random dude or dudette for advice and follow his or her advice. Make sure it has something to do with the stuff you love listening to. That's my biggest advice. Dragon Force, sorry, don't know them. Or I know them, but I never listen to them. Too much fire, you know, power metal. I like it when the voice is a bit more gutsy and throaty and barky. Yeah, we got my man Fred is back. Naruto, big thanks for digging, man. So I'm trying to be a bit more bluesy now, like blues rock. I don't know if that's working out. Cool. So Naruto is asking if I play songs in my free time. No, I don't. So I started, when I started playing guitar, that's what I was playing. That was a couple of decades ago, but these days I don't play cover songs at all. And it might seem weird because that's what most people want me to do, but I just see no joy in playing other people's material. That's not what the guitar is about for me anymore. Used to be, but not now. In a sense, I wish it were, because that's what everybody wants me to do, but it just doesn't please me. I need to just play what I want to play, you know. It's weird, but I never play songs. Hey, Idol, can you play solo part Hotel California? Sorry, I don't. I can't play any famous songs or solos. Sorry for being crap, guys. I wish I was better at that. Maybe change beats so we can... Oh, heavy metal! good practice. That was hard though, pretty fast. From Cambodia, that's awesome, man. It's Stockholm, Sweden in Europe here. Thank you, Naruto. I have my other more metalish guitar laying around here because that's how I started the stream. What's your dream set, Naruto? Whoa, this is low stuff. That was hard. Let's check the tuning. So I'm in C standard here, if you're wondering. So that means I'm like 2 whole steps below E standard, which is the standard tuning, right? Let's see. Pretty cool. Your what? Oh, your drum set. Oh, you're a drummer? Oh, so you play drums in your house? That's awesome, man. Are you playing drums right now with me? Chanapon, what's up? What is F-Noff? I don't know what that is. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. That's a movie, right? There are 2 movies. My kids watch those. I think they're too scary, to be honest with you. I don't like horror movies, and that's bordering a horror movie for me. I know they think I'm really dorky, but to me that gives me nightmares, man. I can't watch that stuff. Oh, you like the Eastern Bend, Brian? That's awesome, man. So you're thinking about I think the pinch harmonica. Let's try some more. Bit tricky nailing those today. Oh, you're gonna see the second one. That's awesome, man. I hope you like it. Cool, let's practice that some more. You know, I thank you, and please stop your illegal war against Europe. If you can. Naruto, you subscribed. Big thanks, man. wanted to get more comfortable getting in and out of those Van Halen style, you know, legato harmonics, that kind of thing. So I'm only really playing 4-2-0 on the G string here, but I need to be able to do it with just my left hand. So, and then what I do is I lightly touch the G string and I slide up and down. You know, but that's a little tricky, so I'm practicing it. Cool, guys. So this was a very nice session, very long one, longer than I had anticipated, but I think that's because I sat outside and it was sunny and I felt really good all the time. I try to only live stream when I feel good about myself so I can convey some positive energy to you guys. I hope I managed to do that. If you think I've been looking funny, it's because I barely see what you guys are saying. I have the sun in my face, but it's been worth it all the time. But I really want to thank you for being awesome and sticking around and you know, commenting and just being with me in my little moment here outside practicing. I also hope I've been able to give you something back. If you don't know, I did publish a lot of like free theory tutorials on my Patreon page. So if you go to the theory sections, you can learn all about the scales I'm using, both for the riffing but also the soloing part, and some like my favorite rock chords and that kind of stuff. It's all up there and it's all for free, so feel free to check out my Patreon and you can get learning with me. But until next time, you guys are the absolute best. I really want to thank you for being who you are. Let's keep being ourselves. You guys rock. See ya. Cheers.